Olympic gold medalist Crista Cullen, old friend of the London Sporting Club, and here we are again, another day, another do. What have you been up to?
Well, I've just been listening to Sir Clive Woodward, giving us an amazing insight into, his whole journey, really, not just the World Cup final. Of course, his sort of build-up through school, etc., and then all the way through. And it's amazing, the correlations, actually. Whenever you listen to any of the people that we hear speak at the London Sporting Club about their journeys, there's so many very similar traits that come through with anybody who's been lucky enough to play elite sport.
So I was just thinking, looking at you whilst he was talking, and you did have a bit of a sloppy smile on your face because there must have been so many things he said which absolutely ticked your own boxes.
Yeah, I guess sort of how the makeup of teams are. Obviously, he's coming from a team sport, much like myself, and we sort of sat in the same parts of the changing room as similar personalities because that naturally is where you migrate. And people that are slightly louder in their preparation to a match want to stay away from the girls who are plugged into their music, sort of reading through their notes, sort of the more introverted elements. So it was really interesting listening to it from a rugby perspective where there's very, very similar traits that we sort of have in hockey.
And also, rather like the England rugby team that Clive Woodward was in charge with, it was a journey before they reached the summit. And same for the Great Britain women's hockey team. You won a bronze in London, which of course most Olympians would say it's great, but that's not what you set out to do. 4 years later, you did it. So again, you're recognising the stepping stones that you have to take, and sometimes you go backwards in order to eventually succeed.
I think any elite athlete, you have to accept failure as part of your journey, and that's almost the hardest thing because we're the most competitive people in the world. So I think the fact that yes, we got bronze, but not only that, in 2014 the England women came second last at a World Cup. 2 years before the Rio gold medal, no, we didn't go in like they did as favourites. We went in as 7th in the world, but still with a very clear vision of where we wanted to go. And I think that ultimately, when you've got a team that wholeheartedly trusts and is united in a common goal, I think it's a very special thing. And there's a lot of resonation between the 2003 team that won for rugby, and then of course ourselves that went on to win in Rio. And I think that's what makes sport exciting. Can you recreate that? Can you get a changing room that clicks in those ways with those personalities? And can you be lucky? Because a lot of it is about opportunity and a lot of it about luck, but also generating your own luck from learning from failure, learning from the bottom, and building blocks to get you back on track.
Wonderful. Crista, thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.